Hello students, good morning. Students, today we are going to discuss our seventh chapter, that is weather, climate and adaptations of animals to climate. So students, this is the first part of the chapter in which we are going to study weather, weather report, elements of weather, climate and factors affecting climate of a place. So our first topic is weather. Students, suppose you are going to visit any hill station like Shimla and Manali. So, which type of clothes you will carry with you? Obviously, you will carry woolen clothes with you. Suppose you are visiting Rajasthan, then obviously you will carry your cotton clothes with you. Or suppose you are going to visit a place where rain is very common. Suppose you are going to visit Chera Punji like places. So obviously you will must carry umbrella and raincoats with you. So all these situations, they changes or they vary because of varying weather and climate of that places. So weather and climate, they have very intense effect on our lives. Means most of our daily life activities depend on that weather, and these weather condition or weather reports are predicted by television or newspaper. So we come to know about these weather conditions from television or newspaper, and then accordingly we perform our life activities. So students, let's begin with the topic weather. Weather is a state of the atmosphere that describe the degree to which it is hot or cold, wet or dry, calm or stormy, or clear or cloudy. Means day to day atmospheric condition of a place is called weather. The weather can be cold for a day while hot and humid for another day. The weather may change place to place, as weather in coastal areas is very different than that of in a desert or hilly areas. So we can say that the day-to-day condition of the atmosphere at a place and time with respect to the temperature, pressure, humidity, wind speed, wind direction, sunshine, cloud or rainfall, etc., is called weather of that place. So most of the weather phenomena take place in the lowest level of the atmosphere. As we know, there are four levels. So lowest level, that is the troposphere, which is just below the stratosphere. So all the weather conditions, they generally take place in troposphere. Then students, atmosphere, all of you knowing, atmosphere is thick and invisible blanket or envelope of gases that surrounding our earth. It is all around us. The atmosphere absorbs or bounces back the incoming harmful ultraviolet rays and other harmful radiations and protect us from so many harmful effects of these radiations and ultraviolet rays. Suppose if atmosphere is not there which surround our earth, atmosphere is absent, then our earth would be a lifeless ice ball, because all that important weather patterns, weather changes takes place in atmosphere. Then our temperature, all of you know that maximum temperature of a day occurs in afternoon and minimum temperature during the early morning. It means in the early morning the temperature is very low, and at noon it will increase, and again when evening approaches is it again decreases, and like this cycle continues. Means this cycle continues just because of one main and chief source of energy. The source of energy is sun. So all changes in the weather are caused by the sun. The sun is a huge sphere of hot gases at a very high temperature. The distance of the sun from us is very large. Even then, the energy sent out by the sun is so large, and that is the source of energy that causes the changes in the weather patterns. Energy absorbed and reflected by the Earth's surface, oceans, and the atmosphere play a very important role in determining the weather at any place. So, sun is the very important source which causes the changing in weather patterns. Now, weather report. As you can see in the image, this type of thing you always you will find in your newspaper, in which you can see the maximum and minimum temperature, then timing for moonset and moonrise and sunset and sunrise. About you will get the information about the cloud, means the day will be cloudy or not, or you will get the information about humidity, means rainfall or precipitation also you will get. So this is the report which is prepared by, which is released by department which is governed by our government. That department is called meteorological department, which releases this type of report which provide the predictions about the weather or all details or informations about the weather. And this report, daily report that we get about weather, is called weather report. So this weather report is released by meteorological department, which is a government body that measures the elements of weather and maintain their records. Then meteorologists, they collect, they're the scientists that they collect data from the satellites and interpret it to forecast about the weather of the day. So this is all about weather report. You can get weather report from newspaper, then you can get it from television and radio also. So the daily weather report carries information about everything, about temperature, humidity, and rainfall during the past 24 hours. Then it also gives the timing of sunrise, sunset. As you can see in this report, you can get the timing of moonrise and moonset also. That is why it helps us to plan our daily life activities. Means we can plan our all daily life activities accordingly. Then maximum and minimum temperature, all of you knowing that at afternoon the temperature is maximum, and in the early morning temperature is minimum. Then elements of weather. So there are four main elements. The four main elements which determine weather is temperature, humidity, rainfall, and wind. So first of all, we will see temperature. So temperature is influenced by the duration of sunshine. All of us know that temperature directly depends on sunshine. During the summer season, the duration of the sunshine is longer. Because of this, the temperature is high in summers. The day temperature is minimum in the morning and maximum at noon. And this temperature, special thermometer comes, a special instrument which used to record the maximum and minimum temperature of a day. It is called maximum and minimum thermometer. Next one is humidity. Humidity, as all of you know, the amount of moisture present in air or amount of water vapor present in air or atmosphere is called as humidity. So it is the capacity of air to hold the water contained. Means what is the amount of water contained held by air or atmosphere, it is called humidity. Then one more thing, that is relative humidity. So relative humidity refers to the ratio of the amount of moisture present in the air at a particular temperature to the maximum moisture can air can hold at that temperature. Means one temperature is there, normally what is the amount of water vapor held by air at that temperature, and what is the maximum amount of water vapor or moisture can be held by air at same temperature. The ratio is called relative humidity. It is measured in percentage and is generally at the highest level during the rainy season. Relative humidity is measured using an instrument called hygrometer. Then rainfall. So amount of rainfall is also, it is measured in terms of millimeter, that is mm. It occurs when the level of humidity is extremely high and there is a sudden drop in the temperature. Means humidity level will be very high and there will be drop in temperature. So rainfall at a place, it is measured by one instrument, that is rain gauge. Then wind. So all of us know what is wind. Moving air is called wind. So why wind current produce? The just because of the uneven heating of the earth. Means uneven heating of the earth is the main cause of blowing of wind. Speed of wind as well as direction of the wind both affect the conditions of a weather. So wind vane is used to locate the direction of wind, whereas an anemometer is used to measure the speed of wind. So students, our next topic is climate. As we have studied in weather, that is, it is hour to hour, day to day changes in atmospheric condition, but climate is the average weather condition, average weather pattern, which is taken over a long period of time. So as we know students, that meteorologists record the weather every day, and the records of weather have been preserved for past several decades. These help us to determine the weather patterns at a place. The average weather pattern taken over a long period of time, we can say 25 years, is called a climate of a place. Means if we find that the temperature of a place is high most of the time, then we can say the climate of that place is hot. And if there is also heavy rainfall, then we can say that the climate of that place is hot and wet. Means climate we can determine by observing, by keeping the weather records of last several decades, or we can say at least 25 years. If we are having the weather records of at least 25 years back, and then on the basis of that, the most probable condition which is taking place in that particular area, that will be the climatic condition. Means if any area is having hot weather condition from so many long time, then we can say it is hot climate, place has hot climatic condition, or it is hot climate. And the climate of place tells us the variety of plants and animals that are found there. Means climate only determine which type of plants will be there, which type of animals are found there. And it also determines the type of soil in that region. Means climate also determines the type of soil found in any area. Now you can see there are two images, and this is for comparison of average temperature of any two places. So average temperature for a given month for any place can be calculated in two steps. Firstly, find the mean of the temperature recorded during the month. For that month, there means we have to find the average or mean for the temperature for that particular month. And secondly, calculate the mean of such temperatures over certain years. So the result is the average temperature for that month. It helps us to compare the climate of any places, different places. So here, for example, by we are comparing the temperatures of Tiruvananthapuram in Kerala and Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir. So we can interpret, we can find from it that the Tiruvananthapuram is very hot and wet, whereas Srinagar is moderately hot and wet in some parts of the year. You can see the daily minimum temperature in Srinagar for January month, it is minus 2.3. Means how we can find out daily minimum temperature? Means first of all, for that, suppose we are calculating for January month, so first of all we can find out the daily minimum temperature for all days, all 31 days for January month, and then we can find out its average. So it will be the daily minimum average temperature for January. Just like that, we can find out the daily maximum temperature also. You can see Here total mean rainfall is also given. Just like this it is given for Tiruvananthapuram also. So just by using these data we can find out the any climatic condition, any data, any information about the climate of any particular place. So similarly we can also find out that the place as Rajasthan. So Rajasthan has a high temperature during most part of the year, but very low temperatures in winter, which lasts for a few months. Also, the region receives very scanty rainfall. Hence, this type of climate is called typical desert climate. And northeastern India receives rain for a major part of year. Therefore, we can conclude that the climate of the region is wet. And the climate of India is the hot and humid because the temperature and humidity is generally high for most part of the year. Now, factors affecting climate of a place. So first of all we will see distance from the equator. Different parts of the earth receive different amounts of heat from the sun. The amount of heat received depends upon the distance of latitude from the equator. Places located at high latitude means they are far from the equator. The places which are far from equator, they receive very less sunlight, and sunlight, the amount of sunlight they are reaching there, these are also very slanting. That is why resulting in cold climatic conditions. Then those at low latitude means the places which are close to the equator, where the sunlight, they are getting the sunlight directly, so making these areas near the equator very warm. So first factor which affect the climate of a place, that is the distance from the equator. Next one is distance from the sea. So the climate of a place is also affected by the distance from the sea. The coastal areas, they are very close to the sea, so they have very moderate climate, and weather almost weather remains unchanged throughout the year. And as we move inland, means away from the sea, there is a drastic change, means there's a tremendous change in temperature during summer and winter. And central parts are dry and hot in summers and extremely cold in winter. Next one is rainfall and humidity. So the climate is also influenced by the amount of rainfall. The amount of rainfall depends upon the closeness to the sea, and also it depends on the direction of wind. Then height above the sea level, means that is altitude. So the climate of a place is also influenced by the height of a place above the sea level. Mountains are cooler as the air is very thin and is not able to absorb and retain much heat. And plains, just opposite to the mountains, they are warmer, and their air is thicker and they absorb and retain most of the heat. That is why mountains are cooler and plains are warmer. Except that weather patterns means daily weather conditions obviously determines the climate, and wind current also. Now, this is all about the first part of this chapter. Now, some understanding based questions are there. So, first one is what is weather report? Then, how can sun affect the weather of a place? What is the use of a maximum and minimum thermometer? Then, how can our atmosphere protect us from harmful radiations? Then how the weather of a place is different from its climate. And last one, how the rainfall and humidity affect the climate of a place. So try to find out the answer of these questions. Do watch the video, read the book also, and try to solve the objective type questions given in exercises in your chapter. Okay, thank you class.